Good evening and welcome to Metaverse Masterminds, episode 24. It's 15th of March 2024, and this edition we're calling this one Monkey See, Monkey Do. Now, as most of you members know, General Kev and Private Buddykins are broadcasting live from the Rock of Gibraltar and Spain, and it's a pleasure to be able to bring this show to you all this fine Friday evening. Hope you're all well. So let's take a look who've we got on the panel this evening. Give us a wave, Private Buddykins. There's Sarah looking radiant in the background. Gotta say, guys, she looks better than she feels, and we'll tell you later why. Yeah, Sarah's laughing her head off. It's been one heck of an experience out here. And we've also got Trucker Fletcher and Fred. Good evening, Chris. How are you?
Yeah, hello everybody, we're here. He promises not to be naughty tonight. He was on the other night and got beating me up, so he's on his best behaviour tonight.
Awesome. Good to see you on board, Chris. You had a good week?
Yeah, I guess so. Notes happened exciting. A couple more weeks and we'll be getting a bit busier. We'll be getting some stuff sorted out for the van, so we'll be able to get off and get a few holidays and trips in as well. So we'll be coming on a Friday night from maybe Scotland mid-April, all being well. So things are looking up on that point.
That'd be awesome to bring the show from different areas of the UK too. That'd be great. Okay, Chris, we'll chat with you guys in a short while. And welcome to Patricia. Hi, Patricia. Welcome aboard.
Hi. Good evening. How are you doing?
Absolutely radiant. I was just saying, Sarah looks glowing, but we'll tell you.
She does.
I'll tell you that looks can be very deceiving.
Oh, she looks great.
We'll let you know what's happened later on in the show after all the important bits. But it's been an amazing time out here in Gibraltar. And yeah, we've had to take a day off today. Let's put it that way, yeah? We'll tell you more later on, but it's been fun. Okay, welcome to the show, Patricia. Okay, guys, so yeah, episode 24. Where's all the time going? I really don't know. It's 15th of March 2024. And like I say, we're bringing the show to you from the area of Spain and Gibraltar this evening. It's been a glorious day over here, and I hope it's been absolutely wonderful wherever you guys are watching the show from this evening. Okay, let's have a quick look before we get down to the nitty-gritty of talking about Dalversal and the platform. Let's have a look. Let's see who we've got in the chat room. Sergeant Meng. Good evening, Meng. Greetings from the USA. Good to see you guys. Absolutely, sir. It's great to see you on board. How's the weather over there? Sergeant Meng, yes. I did get a message. You see, I am plugging in, even though we're away from our home location. We're still keeping up to date with things. Sergeant Meng's been on tornado watch, I believe. Meng, if you're still there, just give us a quick update of what it's like out there in Oklahoma, I believe. Give us a quick update on that. Anybody else watching from anywhere in the world, just drop us a chat box post. Let us know where you're watching from. Don't forget, guys, we're broadcasting this show over multiple platforms. We're broadcasting to Twitter, Telegram, Discord, the Bureau HQ YouTube channel, Metaverse Masterminds YouTube channel too. And don't forget, if you've got any questions or you want to post anything, feel free to post from any of those platforms, and we get those chat posts into our inbox live within the studio. So if you have anything great to say, how wonderful I am, or how wonderful Patricia or Trucker Fletch or who else we got, Buddykins is, we can put that on screen and, celebrate the fact. Who else have we got? Oh, Sergeant Meng, tornado never came through, which is good. That's great news, Meng. We was thinking of you yesterday because we did see that post, and it's not great news when a tornado's heading your way. We had one in the UK just before we left for Gibraltar, so we know how scary they can be. I'm pleased you're safe and well over there. Robert, good evening, Robert, all the way from Germany. Fantastic to see you this evening, Robert. Welcome to the show. I think that was Chris. I'm not quite sure. Jenny, J-Lo, good evening, Jenny. Great to see you as well. Now, Jenny, you'll be interested in what we've got to talk about later on in the show because you have a little bit of Spanish experience as well. We've got a little bit of a story to tell, and you'll be interested in this, I'm sure. Elder Barry, hi guys, I'm from London, UK. Excellent. Well, we're normally from the UK, the East Coast near the Humber Bridge, but we're not. We're from the Rock of Gibraltar or very close to the Rock of Gibraltar this evening. We've also got Pamela Love. Now we've got Pamela and Matt, I believe, yeah, from Oklahoma as well. Welcome, Pat. Pleased to see you on the show this evening again. Who have we got? Robert sounded like a neighbor. Yeah, did. You're not joking there, and we did experience plenty of them yesterday. Pam, good news, Meng. We had fires last week all over our area. Nature doesn't take no prisoners, does it? Nature really does take hold sometimes. Okay, guys, that's great to know. There's people all over the world watching the show this evening. Okay, let's crack on. Let's see what we've got to talk about this week. Now, many of you regular viewers, just before I move on, actually, we may have a new viewer. Now, that new viewer hasn't actually posted in the post now, but if she is watching, yeah, I'd like to, or if she watches this recording, I'd like to give a big shout out to somebody called Concha. Now, who's Concha? Concha is the landlady of the apartment that we are renting, okay? Now, the story that I have to tell is related to Concha, okay? So that's the link. That's how we know. And Concha knows about Dalversal and what we're doing here. And we spoke to her earlier on via WhatsApp, I think, and she gave us the answer to our questions, put it that way, okay? So if Concha is watching, a great hi and great shout out to Concha, beautiful apartment, and I'll recommend it to anyone, okay? Okay, so before we move on, our regular viewers will notice that there's no Winnie this evening. Winnie is taking a much needed break and she's kicked back with a large martini, I would imagine, and who can blame her? Okay, she's had it quite rough for the last few weeks. Unfortunately, Peter's still away having his therapy, and Winnie's back traveling to and fro every day. It's got to be taking on her health, and it's exhausting, guys. So Winnie, if you're watching, big love to you and big love to Peter, and I really do hope that very soon Peter can come back home and be reunited with you and, be there for each other, because that's what we need, isn't it? So big hugs to Winnie and Peter. We've got Coach Leon. Coach Leon here. Hi, my esteemed kings and queens. Good afternoon. I pray that you're having a super day on purpose today. Much love. Now, Coach, let me think. New York? I think Coach is from New York. If I'm wrong, put me right, yeah? So we've got Germany, New York, Oklahoma, London, people all over the world. This is great. Okay, guys, we never avoid the elephant in the room on Metaverse Masterminds. Withdrawals, okay? Everybody wants the withdrawals to work within Dalversal. We all do. I do, okay? And we can complain as much as we like, but when we look at the withdrawal and the reasons behind the withdrawals, we can quite clearly see there are no problems whatsoever, okay? All we need is patience. How do I know that? Well, for you guys that have not watched the video that was broadcast yesterday from some of our great Italian leaders who interviewed, Philadelphia, USA. Put me right, Leon. Philadelphia. Excellent. Nice to see you on board, Leon. Going back to the video that the great Italian leaders interviewed Jonah Glasgow, the CEO of Dalversal, who explained in detail, I think, of everything that is going on in the behind closed doors, basically, on why the withdrawals are taking such a long time. Patricia, can I bring you on at this moment? Because let me alter the screen so that we can all squeeze in together. That's okay, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. What did you learn from that video? Because I do understand you've watched it this afternoon, yeah?
I did, yeah. I scrolled through. I tried to just get the English bits, obviously, because I don't speak Italian.
Same here, same here.
Yeah, what I got from him really was that he's totally aware of the issue, and they originally thought they were going to be able to ask, the top leaders to stop withdrawals in order to reduce the backlog, if you like, but then they realized that that isn't a long-term solution, and so now they're going towards the idea of DAO T being maybe the way that we'll take money out, and that is going to be a completely decentralized solution, so it will be instant. That's what he said. Virtually instant. I think that's what he said, and I was like, yes, fantastic.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what we're heading.
The initial step, the first step that slowed the withdrawals down, was created by the cutting off of the hyper group. That's what slowed things down. And they thought that by talking to the master and epic rank leaders, such as myself at the top, that, we all agreed. We said, yeah, we're okay about that. We'll back off and we'll allow that bottleneck of withdrawals to catch up, so to speak. Didn't actually work. Now, why didn't it actually work? I'll tell you, because Dalversal is very successful and it's bringing more and more people on board all the time. So obviously, more people on board, more withdrawals, more activity. So what people are looking at is not failure, it's success, okay? In a roundabout way, people have to look at the bigger picture. So, of course, what they thought and what we thought at the time would be beneficial and helping the tech support team, because I do understand that at one point there was only 2 members that was dealing with those withdrawals. Now, that must have been a heck of a task. And then they realized, hang on a minute, we're not getting rid of that backlog, okay? So you're right, Patricia. That's what they decided to do. Said, look, this isn't going to work. Even if we get the backlog cleared, this is going to be an ongoing problem if we don't do something completely new in order to do it once and for all. Now, that, guys, has taken longer, obviously, because I've got to create a brand new withdrawal system. I do believe that could be on the Ethereum network, okay? But, Patricia, you're absolutely right. When people realize what this entails in the withdrawal process, as in when you put a withdrawal process in, it's almost instant, I'm in. I'm in. Because who wants 2 or 3 days waiting? I don't. I think it's a fantastic move, that what they're doing, because let's face it, they're a big platform. They're a big global concern, and they don't want this negative aura. I'd see it as a negative aura when you've got members on the group saying, oh, I don't want, we're waiting 24, 72, 48 hours. Do you know what I mean? That's negative aura. We don't want that. You start implementing instant withdrawals, you just think how people will react to that. That is phenomenal. How many other platforms, and I know you are involved in other platforms, Patricia, do they have instant withdrawals? I don't think so.
Nobody. Most of them are 72 hours. Some are longer.
Exactly.
And you have no control. And that's the thing. You're waiting and waiting and waiting. And so I think what he's done, it seems to me, is he's taken the bull by the horns and decided not to just tinker around the edges of this, but to create a whole new system so that, you know, it's future proofing, isn't it? Basically.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So that once the platform begins to grow and grow and grow, you won't just keep building a backlog. You'll have a system that works instantaneously, fairly. And I think, you know, it's an honest appraisal. It's looking at what the long-term issues are. He was very honest about it. It's been very upfront, and it gives me confidence, because I think, yeah, because that'll be their own token. That's got to be good, surely, because that'll raise the value of the token, it seems to me.
Patricia, you make me glow. You make me glow. Okay. The wary cryptonaut. Yeah. Patricia is the wary cryptonaut. Okay. This is why we enjoy the presence of Patricia on our show, because we like it from both sides of the coin. Yeah. We can be as confident as we can be. But I knew with Patricia that as the wary cryptonaut, we would get nothing but the truth. Nothing but the truth from somebody who is very wary. Okay. And I respect Patricia for what she says about the platform. And I fully agree with what she's saying, because what Jonah said within that video came from his heart. He does speak from a center. He's centered. He's so centered. It's unreal. When he's on video, you can look at his face, you can look into his eyes, and you can understand there's no hidden agenda at all. He says it as it is.
There's no BS.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've got to admit, this even comes down to, I mean, many people say the general has this reputation of being a little bit blunt at times. Yes, I do, because unfortunately, the truth can be painful at times. I see that in Jonah as well, you know, more so lately regarding the disconnection of the hyper group. Yeah, I saw that in that video. He's evolving with the platform. I love the way he's evolving as a CEO with the platform. Okay, I saw it because I was waiting for his reaction towards that, because I know that as a CEO that has to offer, has to deliver, and has to look at both sides of the coin, and he has to try and please everybody. I was waiting for that, and he did the right thing, in my opinion. He was strong. He stood up and said, no, I'm sorry, we've got to move on. That guy has given us something that no other platform has ever given before, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's a great leader.
Sorry, Patricia.
He's a great CEO. He's really upfront, honest. There's an authenticity. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And Jenny's just put, I just love the transparency and vision. Yeah. Pam, is there any way of cancelling current withdrawal requests? I don't think so. I had a look at that, and I don't think there is. It's just a case of sitting on your hands and just waiting. I think currently, we're looking at 12 days on average. It's looking at 12 days. But as they work towards this goal of, you know, decentralized instant, hopefully it'll just be kabang, end of, that's it. We can have instant withdrawals. I'm presuming that's the way it'll be. And don't get me wrong, guys, they are still filtering out some withdrawals. I noticed a post earlier, where a team of 47 members had applied for the a withdrawal on the same day, and they all got that today. And I do believe that was either the 28th or 29th of February, so maybe a bit longer than 10 days. But they're clearing them. And let's face it, they've got two new guys on board. I did want to cover that as well. Chase and James, a Canadian guy called Chase, and another guy called James, and they've took the reins in creating the new Zendesk, the customer service and tech support area, which is fantastic. Again, I've got to say it, guys, we've been out here now. How long have we been here, Sarah? 9 days? 9 or 10 days, yeah? We keep popping back onto the groups, you know, trying to keep up with latest events and what have you. And we've seen a lot of negativity about the no tech support, no customer services. And Dalversal, we did start saying, look, Dalversal have said they're going to, re-implement these into the system. Shebang. They've done it. It's there. The only thing I will say, though, is I have said on one of the groups, I would like to see that in the menu. When you're in your back office and you go into your username and it drops down that menu, I would like to see it in there where everybody, in my opinion, go to find tech support. I think it's help and something else, customer services or something. There's two areas there, and then they still lead to the dead page at Zendesk. That's not good because people still think it's a dead page. It's not. If only they can implement that into those two links, thumbs up to Dalversal. I know what he's saying. It is on the homepage at the bottom where it says support, but not everybody thinks about going there. They always go to the account to find support. That's what I do. So if they can just implement that, I think they've cracked it with the, Jenny agrees as well. Where do people go for support? They go to their account settings. That's where I go. So, please, Dalversal, if you're watching, let's have that done. Customer's always right. So, Patricia, can you add anything else to this? Because so far, so good regarding the customer services side of it anyway.
Yeah, no, I was really excited that came up and that they were inviting people, not just telling you that it was available, but actually saying, please get in touch if you have an issue, so that's really positive. There's loads of stuff he's planning. I mean, this call was really exciting. It had loads in it. Somebody asked him about, they've got some association with Binance. It's a subsidiary of Binance. Did you spot that? I can't remember what it was. Quick Kickstarter, I think it was called.
Yeah.
And they're basically using them for some of their, I think, sort of future plans and to kind of help them progress. So that, and he could prove that was the case because he showed a copy of an email from Binance. They've got lots of ideas about actually designing a metaverse for another company. They can't name them for legal reasons, but there was, that he showed a snapshot of that. So they're not only going to create one for Dalversal, but for other people. So, I mean, this company's going places. It's got amazing insight and just really exciting.
It wouldn't surprise me if, because it's created by Dalversal, it won't surprise me if we will be able to travel to that metaverse as well and vice versa, so they can both be linked together. Who knows?
Ooh, yeah, a sort of linking of worlds. Yeah,
absolutely. I do recall Jonah mentioning this way back in the town hall event, I think it was, where he said in the future, in the way distant future, they were hoping to be able to join the metaverses together with other metaverses. I've got a memory, and I think that may be something to do with that. Now, just going back a step or two towards the Binance thing, I saw that question. I thought, oh, my ears pricked up, and I'll tell you why. That question goes back to the original game plan, right? Me and Sarah spotted this. In the first game plan, or was it no, it was a game plan. There was a list of people that they were affiliated or similar to affiliated with, and Binance was one of them. But in maybe the third game plan, Binance was removed. And I thought, odd. Are they or aren't they? When that question popped up, I was like, oh, this will be interesting, because somebody else had obviously seen that as well as myself and thought, let's put that question to Jonah in public. And you know what? That was an awesome question and an awesome answer, because Jonah, he described it perfectly, because it isn't a full-blown onboarding with Binance as we see it, but it's a backdoor onboarding with Binance, if you like, but it is still very important in this ecosystem, if you like. The Kickstarter program and all the benefits that come with it is an extremely important development within Dalversal. So the very fact that he didn't shun it, he didn't deny it, he actually showed the bloody email to prove it. Now, I would like to challenge any viewer that's watching this program. When have we ever had anything like that in the previous platforms? So those people saying, "Oh, this is just another hyper-tech platform." Come on, guys. You're going to have to, at some point, realize that it's completely different. We're running a different steam train here, aren't we? It's clear, yeah? And we've got a different captain at the head of it. This guy certainly knows what he's doing, and this guy answers questions. I was over the moon when he answered that, because clearly that was something, as we move forward, as we evolve forward with the platform, there's always little questions that stay up here in this, when it surfaces, because I don't always bring them up. I remember them, but I don't always bring them up. But when they surface, it brings it back, and you say, are they going to answer this or not? 100% resolved in my book regarding that issue with Binance. Perfect answer. Trucker Fletch, have you heard anything about Dalversal in your way of, because like I say, you've got your involvement with the level that you are regarding the add-ons that you was doing, but I do believe you've taken it one step further, because you're aware of the withdrawal issue, but that didn't really bother you, did it?
No, I haven't. It's like I say, I haven't been able to withdraw anything for the last 2 years, so it's not. I'm just riding it out as it is, and hopefully one day I'll get some. So I thought, well, seeing as I can't draw out at the moment, I diverted mine across the other day, so it's buying that Dow T. So it's just, I'm not going to be rich quick, and a lot of people out there think that we're not. It's frustrating as beggary that I've got so much assets, but I can't get at them. So I thought, can't get at them, so I may as well make something out of it. So I've sent it across to buy some Dow T out, and I'm going to carry it on till the end of the month, see what happens, and then do another reassessment then.
That's the word I was looking for. Reassessment. Because I think it's vital that every member, when they move forward, they seem to get stuck. I'm the same. We seem to get stuck. We seem to be moving forward, and then something happens and you think, oh God, we've got to sit down again, reassess. Exactly, Chris. So do you understand what the Dow T is and what the opportunity is that we've been given this month?
Well, it's something else that Dalversal have given us that's going to be a universal token, to what I can gather. I haven't really been following it because things have been going that slow. I've had a look on Telegram and I've seen people whinging and bitching, and I'm like, can't be doing with them. Just can't be doing with them. At the end of the day, some people out there are moaning that they can't get that the paying out has stopped. They think themselves bloody lucky they're getting anything out. This really wound me up, that has, that the bitches are on there whining, we can't get our money out. We've been getting it and it suddenly stopped. Well, think yourself bloody well lucky you've got anything out, because I haven't. And I've got a lot of assets there sitting there, and it is annoying. But I haven't been on there witching and whining. I've just switched it off, just come on every day for a couple of minutes, done my charge, switched it off, let it get on. And I think a lot of people need to buck up and start doing that.
Okay.
At the end of the day, we're on a new platform. There's a lot of crypto out there that's crashing out. There's a lot of normal stuff that's crashing out. My coins rocketed this week, and I've looked today and have plummeted again. Frustrating. Yeah, no I can do about it. We're in the laps of the gods. I have heard today that BlackRock are getting the fingers in on this. So provided we're on a safe platform that they keep the sticky bitty fingers out, we should be okay. But at the end of the day, there's no point bitching and whining. You just make people like me want to get older and kick your asses, because at the end of the day, not all of us can get it out. So if we can't get it out, what do? We diversify. We look for some way. If we can't get it out now, we'll look for something to build up even more in another direction. And that's what I've done. And just fingers crossed and hoping it works.
Okay, I'm going to
Sorry
have to.
if I'm swearing. I'm blunt and to the point. I'm more blunt and to the point than what general is, and I've been very mild up to now.
No, this is why Metaverse Masterminds have a diverse panel of members. We've got the wary cryptonaut, somebody that's very cautious and, you know, looks at every angle of every project. We have Trucker Fletcher and Fred, who seems to have disappeared off the scene. But we have Trucker Fletcher on board. Now, Trucker Fletcher's, yeah, there he is. I knew he wouldn't be far away. Trucker Fletcher's got the perfect, what can I say, example of a typical member. And what I would like to point out here is a lot of members could learn a lot from Trucker Fletcher, and I'll tell you why, okay? Chris doesn't understand a lot about the intricate details of Dalversal, the blockchain, how it works, why it takes so long for the withdrawal process and the creating of Ethereum blockchain. And yeah, that goes straight over his head, like it does a lot of members, which is fine. That's understandable. A lot of people don't understand. Now, may I just say at this point, this is why I called this episode Monkey Say, Monkey Do. And I'll tell you why. It's the end of that era of Monkey Say, Monkey Do. Because what we're doing now is allowing people to learn and understand and stop copying everything that everybody does without understanding the necessary details in order to move forward. Okay, Monkey Say, Monkey Do was a very dangerous thing that was going on in the past platforms. And by God, are we seeing that now when we're trying to help people move forward? It's evident that, and I'm not directing this at you, Chris, at all. I'm directing this at a lot of members that clearly don't know anything about crypto or MetaMask and such platforms, okay? So Chris is a typical example of what I would like other members to consider. Admit the fact that a lot of the technicalities is way above your head. There's nothing wrong with that at all. When things get overwhelming, like Chris has just said, you're reading the groups and seeing nothing but negativity, turn it off. Identify that it's negativity and turn it off, because otherwise you get pulled into that negativity, and that's dangerous, guys. That's dangerous. But the last part that I would really like to lay it on thick is, where's Chris now? He's here. He's come to, I didn't hear that, Chris, but I don't know whether we should or not.
I said I'm at home in my armchair.
Okay.
With Gardener's World on in the background.
The point was, you've joined the show where we can update people with the real news, okay, with the intricate details to reassure you of what is and what isn't happening in the ecosystem. That's what matters, okay? You did the right thing, Chris, by identifying the fact that all this negativity is not helping the matter whatsoever. And if it does become overwhelming, turn it off. There's nothing wrong with that. Just come to the show, come to get in, plug into the show, read the group, see what's happening, but make that decision. Is it worth reading this or not? Perfect. Absolutely.
Put a point across there.
Go on.
I don't know. I would imagine everybody that's on this platform reading this and listening to us now knows the, putting it jokingly and mildly, the tomfoolery that's going on in the general world at the moment. You watch the news and the scaremongering and the absolute freak you out, scare the crap out of you.
Yeah.
Now, for weeks and weeks, I haven't watched the news, and about a fortnight ago, I put the news on. And I was absolutely horrified. Just the tea time news for half an hour, and I was absolutely horrified with the amount of scaremongering and literal horror stories that's out there. And for a couple of days afterwards, I'm like, is this really happening? Is that going to happen? Is that? And I thought, hang on, get a grip of yourself, kick your own ass and look at this. If I didn't see all this bull manure that's being put out on the news, would I even know it was happening? Or would I even know that somebody was out there to scare the crap out of us? So if you use your noddles and switch all this crap off on Telegram where people are going, oh, this is happening, it pulls you in. You switch it off, you get away from it, you're oblivious to it. And once you're oblivious to all this bull that's going on, your life sort of chills out. But if you I watch that news for half an hour the other week, and I'm only just starting to come down off the ceiling thinking, bloody hell, this is happening, that's happening, that's happening. You watch the YouTube where me and my daughter watch lots of YouTube. We learn lots, but we also see lots. And the amount of scaremongering from certain news companies, private news companies, independent news companies that have been saying absolutely the same thing for over a year now, that the big bomb's going to drop, we're all going to die next week, and tomorrow and batten the hatches down and go raid the supermarket for toilet rolls. And yet the toilet rolls are still on the shelf. Nobody's dying. So if you're prepared to listen to this crap, then go join another platform, because I am interested in it for a start. So just basically turn off the crap that's around you and just live for today. Because all they're trying to do is square the crap out in you. And it does work if you listen to it. So you listen to all the model that's going on what is it, Telegram. All you're doing is going back 2 years to the twaddle that was going on.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, the hypergroups were falling apart. We were lied to. Crap was going on. On this one, at least we've got a gaffer at the top that puts his head above the parapet and says, yeah, guys, I'm here. The shit's happening, but I'm trying to sort it out. The guy's there. If you want to contact him, I'm sure there's ways and means. If I wanted to on Monday, I'm sure I could get in touch with Jonah and have a chat, or at least get a message to him. Could you get any them on the other? No. Now, tonight I'm having a bit of a rant. I've had a bit of a quiet week, and I've had this mulling round in my head, and I've seen it on Telegram, and I've seen it, and I thought, no, people need to get their acts together. Grow the sod up, man up. At the end of the day, I made a lot of assets in 2 years. I can't get them back yet. Now, going back, bloody hell, when I first left school, I took a pension out, a private pension, that was 1982. In 2017 or 15, I got a phone call from pension company. Oh, you got 25 grand in your pension. And I went, oh, that's a lot. And then I thought, that's not a lot. I changed company in 5 years. They managed to take me up to 80,000. That's brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. But that is only roughly, that's a quarter of what I built up in 2 years on Hyper.
Yeah.
So if I built that much in Hyper then, that was in 2 years. If it takes 2 years to get it out, then that's 4 years. That's still a year less than what it took on my bloody pension to earn a quarter of it.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Can we,
short, long term.
Can we just cover something that you're actually doing at the moment? Because let me just take you back a step or two. And you did cover the fact that you can't do withdrawals at the moment. You're in the same boat as all we are, that we are. So you're actually purchasing Dow tea, yeah?
Yeah.
What with?
Exactly. Peanuts.
The daily rewards.
What I've built up on Dalversal since I've been in it since September, October time. 6 months.
Right. So what I'm saying to the viewers is what Chris is building up with his Dow T now, which is the new token that's in the pre-sale that most people are purchasing with fresh USDT maybe. Chris is actually purchasing that with recovered tokens from a dead platform that Dalversal have very kindly brought his way and said, look, we might be able to do something for you with this. Am I right, Chris?
Yeah, you're right. I sat there and thought, right, do I sit there and sit on it, or do I build it up and divert it some way that I can get some other kind of payment out of it? So I've done that. At the end of the day, I've gained more. I'm gaining more than what I will be losing. because I'd be losing if I just sat there doing it. I'd be losing the chance of buying Dow T and then it trebling, quadrupling, doing whatever once it gets. Because if it's going to be the token that they use for everything, then people are going to be buying into it. That's going to go up. So it's like, do I sit here just letting it tick away, or do something else that's going to, even if it takes 2 years, that's still within the 4-year plan. What I'm saying about my pension, that the company upped it from 25 to 80, which was a private on the centralized garbage. This is going to be bigger than what that was.
Hey, Chris, slow down, otherwise you'll be taking my job off me, mate.
No, I won't do that.
No, you've just explained a lot of what people don't see, because that's exactly what's happening. If they put the Dow T as the main token that's going to be the foundation of Dowversal, yeah, well, chances are that it will increase in value, more so because we're involved with the pre-sale allocation beforehand. Now, let's have a look at a few statistics regarding the Dow T coin. Patricia, are you aware of any of what's going on up to today? What have we had? A couple of weeks of the Dow T. Are you aware of how much has been sold so far? How much was allocated, etc.?
You're putting me on the spot, and I can't remember how much has gone. I know there was an initial, quite a flurry initially.
Yeah.
Was it 19% within a couple of days or something? And then was it 30 something when I looked at it, I think. Yeah.
Okay. We started with an allocated amount of 1.5 million. Okay.
Right.
And we have hit, I did write it down somewhere, 39.68% today.
Wow.
That's nearly 40%, okay, of the allocated amount for this month, for this pre-sale. Now, something that did surprise me, this is a great one, guys. This is a great one, right? Because people don't realize what's going on here. Somebody thought there was some dodgy business going on the other day because they found out that there's 2 markets for the Dow T token. There's our market for Europe, Australia, America, and so forth, but there's another market for Asia. Okay. Now, straight away, people start thinking, oh, yeah, what's going on here then? Think about it, guys, right? The Asian market have hit 50% already of their allocated amount of Dow T tokens in their pre-sale month, okay? That tells us that there's far more engagement and trust, I guess, in that Dow T token. They're bulling for it. They're bullish for the Dow T. Okay. What does that say to the Dow T token for hours, Patricia?
Well, it's going to go up, isn't it? Because this well, and because this is an initial coin offering as well, so this is like lower than it's going to be when it goes on the market, which is on the 15th of April, I think. Yeah. So it's a measure of trust. Can you?
Exactly. Now, this guy that I was watching this conversation, it was quite funny actually, because he automatically thought there was a scam going on because the Asian market was ahead of the rest of the world. Yeah. Oh, well, how come they've got 50% of the token value and blah, blah, blah. What he didn't realize is the obvious. The thing that triggered me off was, hang on a minute, Asia is giving us a lift up here, because if we take longer to sell all or buy all that allocated amount, it makes no difference to the value of Dow T, because they're making it more valuable than we are throughout the rest of the world. So I praise the Asian market. Come on, guys, well done. Because if they can buy it that fast and make it more valuable, that benefits us as well. So it's a case of education, guys. It's a case of, hang on a minute, what exactly is going on here? Now, was that a strategic step with Dowversal? I think so. And I tell you what, I love it. I love it because of the fact that they know how many offices have Dalversal got in the UK. Not one yet, as far as I know. I don't think it's opened yet.
Not
How
yet.
many? How many have they got in China?
5?
Really?
Doesn't
Carry
that
on.
tell you something?
Is it? I
4,
don't know. I know it was 5 big Trump towers or
6 or
something.
something.
41.
Really?
Oh, I'm a bit-
Wow.
They've got 41 offices in China alone. I mean, it's phenomenal, guys. Of course, it's going to explode over there. And like Chris said the other day, that's a bit odd, isn't it? Where it's supposed to be completely negative. You're not allowed to do crypto in China and everything. Something's working over there. Now, I do believe Dorian said he was going to try and get over there. Now, I think he's going to Hong Kong at some point. I don't know whether he's already gone or not. Isn't that the truth, truckers, and that what they are blanking out, General?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, go on, Chris.
Which gets down to the point I was saying a few minutes ago about watching the news and the lies that we're being fed. At the end of the day, Asia is across in the BRICS nations, which, in my mind, are building up better financial systems of what we have on the centralized systems, and the West's crashing out. We all know that. But when you see something like that they've got 41 offices there, and the Asian team are building up higher. Well, hang on, how can they be doing that if they're suffocated, living under an evil regime that doesn't give them any freedom? They're not allowed any money. They're better off than we are. If they can put 50% up in their little nation than what we can in the West, then doesn't that stand to reason that something we're being seriously lied to? It does in my book.
Something's very wrong in the world, Chris. And, you know, even the crazy thing is, even coming out to Gibraltar and Spain, we learn far more from getting off our asses, going out here and learning the real world. You know, you learn far more by doing that than sitting watching it on TV. We get to see the real world.
My daughter said to me the other day, "Dad, you're so intelligent," and I thought she was taking a mick. And she went, "No, programs come on and you know what you're talking about. People have discussions, you know what you're talking about." Well, that's where it was a curse, my job, 36 years lorry driving. Well, by Christ, it was a brilliant job in a way, because it gave me chance not to listen to everybody's bullshit in my ears, pecking away at my head like I would be if it was like a little chicken in a factory being worked. I got out there, I was on my own. I had my own voice to listen to. I had my own way of working. I listened to documentaries on the radio while I was away. I worked things out and I saw what was going on. I met different people. Okay, so I only went around the UK, but I went to Scotland, Wales, and all over the UK, listened to different people's opinions, listened to what was going on. I had chance to be my own boss and listen and work things out. And there's so many different subjects that I can join in on because I've had chance to. And at the end of the day, I didn't just sit there in front of a screen listening to crap. I worked things out for myself. There's so many things I've helped so many people with. I've even been asked to write a book about my memoirs, about being a lorry driver. I'm looking into that as well, which is something I would have never done.
It's training people to be self-sovereign again, Chris. We've all been indoctrinated against this. Can I move this on a little bit regarding the Dow T? And what I want to, I'll direct this one to Patricia again. Sorry for putting you on the spotlight here, Patricia, but I'm sure you'll get it. Yeah. The Dow T is in pre-sale for a month. Okay. And I've had many members saying, what's the daily reward? There is no daily reward, guys. Okay. This is a completely different angle of, let's face it, not only helping yourself to increase your portfolio, but also, in my opinion, this is to strengthen the foundations of Dalversal in order for it to help us move forward too. Would you agree with that sentiment? And are you aware of what the reward and how the reward operates? Does that make sense?
Well, it's not like the rest of the platform in that you buy a package and you get rewards, and then you either reinvest those or you take them out. This is going to be having the coin in your portfolio that will hopefully increase, and also the more you have, the more use case it has, and therefore the more value it's going to attain. So it's more like having Bitcoin in a way. It's having a coin that will sustain the whole platform, because of course we think it's going to be the withdrawal mechanism as well.
And before we move on, we always state the fact that we're not financial advisors. We don't we don't predict the market. We don't advise. We don't do that. But we do discuss and debate what our opinions are. I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think it's worth considering the use case for this particular coin, all right? Because that's what I do when I look at a potential purchase of something. I've got to, is this just a coin that's kind of made up on one platform, has no real use outside of that platform, or is it going to be something that will expand with the business? Which to me, this is what this is, and we're being given a pre-sale, basically. That's what this is.
Okay.
And it's a gamble, but
to me, sorry, don't go on. I'm just trying to get in there.
That's all right. Carry on.
To me, DAO T is DAOversal's own coin. It's their own token. So for every token you own, it is actually a DAO token. So for every token you own, you actually own a share of that company, because that is their own coin. So you are buying shares into your own company in a formal way of doing it. And those shares in other companies, what happens in other companies when you buy shares? They tend to go up. So if you're buying your own tokens, which is DAO T, you're buying into the company, you're buying shares in the company, which should go up. That's the way I see it.
Okay, then, as a member of DAOversal, Chris, what would you recommend that viewers and members of DAOversal would do should they purchase DAO T in order for them to help make the DAO T rise? What would do that? Why would that happen? Because ultimately DAO T will rise with success. Now, do you see what I'm getting at? If we want DAO T to be valuable, that comes back on us, surely. Not just DAOversal. This is not just Jonah that will be responsible for the value of DAO T. The value of DAO T will be our responsibility as well. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, so let's say, for instance, DAO T has gone to public exchanges, public markets, and it seems to have risen a little bit. I'm just going by an example of what if. Okay, so it seems to be doing okay. It's reached, let's say, $5 a coin. Now we can purchase at $2 a coin in the pre-market. It hits the public market at $3, and let's say in 2 months' time, let's be conservative about this, it hits $5. Okay. What do you think would happen if we were bullish, we were active on the platform, and it was a bustling ecosystem? What would happen to that token?
Lots of people, I think lots of people will buy in, it will go up. But the difference is the snakes that want to come in, buy it quick, get a bargain off it, flog it off quick, bang, you can't do it because it's being locked down to a certain extent. So you can't come in and push it over the cliff and do your runner. This is where the difference is going to be.
Right. This pre-market sale has, yes, thank you, Chris. That is what I was going to move towards. It has what they call the vesting period, okay, which kicks in after the month is up. Okay, so the tokens that you're purchasing now, Chris, are from your daily rewards, from those tokens that were originally dead, buried and gone, that DAOversal very kindly put value to, even though you can't get them out at the moment, the withdrawal system's delayed. Can you see where we're going with this? So we put it in, okay, we purchased our DAO-T at a cheaper rate than it's going to be for the public. Can Dalversal do any more for us, guys? So then they introduce this vesting period. The vesting period is there for exactly what Chris just described. So people don't pump and dump, yeah? Because that is exactly what happened in the past platforms. Those with the value took the value. That can't happen, okay? Patricia, do you understand what the vesting period is and how it works? For the viewers, I'm just trying to explain it to the viewers.
I'm guessing it's a period where you can't sell it.
Yeah, that's part of it. Yeah, it's a 2-year vesting period. Okay, so it's 24 months. But do you know the whole story of how it works?
No, I don't.
Okay, right. We have got to wait for the intricate details of what Dalversal want to do. But you are correct in the fact that let's say, for instance, I purchase 1,000 DAO-T, which would cost me 2,000 DU. Okay, so I've got 1,000 tokens. Okay, at the end of the month, that's my bag. In my back office, I've got 1,000 DAO-T. Okay, there's 24 months before I get all that out. Now, the vesting period goes like this. It's usually an equal amount of those tokens over every single month, week, day, whatever, until you get the full amount out. So I did a quick calculation the other day on an example, and please, guys, don't take this as advice. It's not. This is an example of what it could be. Yeah, 24 months. Okay, divide that. Okay, between your now, how did I do it? It worked out at 4% of the whole amount. Okay, so 100% of your 1,000 coins, you would be allocated 4% of those coins every month for 24 months. I think it worked out 4.6% or something like that. So what I'm saying, and don't forget, guys, that's an example. It's not advice. It's not official. It hasn't come from Dalversal. This is me number crunching, okay? So that would be equal. If you equaled it over for every month, you got exactly the same amount for 24 months, it worked out about 4.6%. Now, they might give you less to begin with and more at the end, or the opposite way around. We don't know. We're just waiting for that, those details to come out. But I did a quick bit of calculation. I thought, hang on a minute, that is fantastic. Because yet again, you've got another area of universal basic income. Exactly the thing that we were looking back all those months, years ago from Hyperverse. Go ahead, Patricia. I saw the finger go.
Well, it reminds me a bit of what they're doing with the TFA, of course, because they're letting you have a small amount until you reach a certain point, and then it increases, doesn't it? Whether they'll use that same model, but for precisely that reason, that you don't want people just to come in and take all their money out. You need it to be sustainable.
We cannot ignore the fact that this value that's being created is being created from nothing. In theory. Because those tokens, Trucker Fletch is a perfect example. Those tokens for Chris came from nothing in regards of Dalversal. So Dalversal are strategically manipulating them and using them to create Chris a UBI. They don't have to do that. But I tell you what, they've got a damn good plan. They've got a damn good plan and a damn good platform for us to make use of. If only we understand it, and if only we realize it, rather than clouding our judgments with the negative attitudes on Telegram. Go ahead, Chris. You was going to say something.
Yeah, I've got a few points to put across, and it might make people realize, in a way, while I was in a hypergroup, when we were getting the rewards and taking them out, we were spoilt in a way, because at the end of the day, all it was giving people a false hope. When you'd sat back and looked, and I'm a lorry driver, but that's like I say, I work things out. And as I've got into this crypto world, I'm working things out. If we'd have carried on like we were, it was unsustainable. It would have crashed anyway, because it wouldn't have gone on forever. So when people were taking money out in rewards in hypernations, it spoilt them in a way. It put them on the wrong track. It gave them the wrong ideas for being sustainable. It was in grab a quick buck and bugger off. Well, you got to ask yourselves questions. Why am I in Dalversal? Am I here for a quick buck and bugger off? Or am I here to make a sustainable future? Yeah, okay, so maybe we're going to get little bits out in there, but it'll build up. But it maybe be little bits that build to bigger as time goes on. If the Dalversal said, right, okay, then we've got this coin coming in, you can all build it up, get your money, flog it, sod off, what's going to happen? It's going to go flat. It's going to fall right on its belly. So the people that are there wittering about, oh, can't get the payments out, why don't you sit down and think, hang on, why do I need the payments out? If I need the payments out like this, maybe I'm on the wrong platform. Maybe I should clear off somewhere else where I get a quick buck and bugger off. This, to me, is, and as I'm learning this as I'm going along, it isn't a quick buck to get in and out. I thought it was when I started. I thought, oh, get my TFA, but get money out, brilliant. But I'm working out it's a more laid back, chilled out thing. So it's going to last. It's not here today, gone tomorrow. It's here today and here next year, the year after. Okay. And that's what people need to realize. It isn't a quick buck platform. If you want a quick buck, you're in the wrong place.
So can you see why I titled this one Monkey Say, Monkey Do? Because that's exactly what was happening back then and exactly what we're trying to get rid of now. We don't want that monkey say, monkey do attitude anymore. At the end of the day, Chris, I'm going to give the viewers an example of this working. For those that don't think it works, where am I now? Where's Buddykins now? We're out in Gibraltar, and I'll tell you something, guys, and this isn't to brag, it's not to rub anything in. We're not on holiday. Now, that will come as a surprise to most. We're actually not on holiday. This is the result of two people, myself and Buddykins, sat there. She'll say it herself. This is the result of two people that decided that they wanted to change their lifestyle. Going on holiday for most people is nothing but a nightmare, okay? Because you have to work like crazy, you have to save like crazy, you get on holiday and then you have to go back to the grind, okay? We decided we'd had enough of that. 21, 22 years we've been together and we've worked towards what we've got today. And I'm going to tell you something, right? We're not rich, but I believe we've got it right. And I'll tell you why. Dalversal gave us this opportunity a few months back and we saw the vision. We knew that this is what we need in order to work forward. Is it complete? No. But we saw that opportunity to take and work with what we had at the time in order to start our new way of life. What is our new way of life? Our new way of life is a 50-50 split. 50% we're going to be staying in the place where we come from, what we call our home, our hometown, okay? The other 50% of our life is going to be spent traveling all around the world. Could be anywhere. We're in Gibraltar at the moment, as it happens, because this is life. We wanted our lives to change. And if we can do it, anybody can do it, okay? With the help of Dalversal. You don't have to be rich. You have to be plugged in. You have to be wise. You have to look at every dollar. You have to look and, just one second, I can't see the screen. You have to look and reassess. That word that Trucker Fletch said earlier on, reassess. I plug into this platform every day. I reassess my account every day. I ensure that I am working with Dalversal and what they're offering every day. If there's negativity on the platform, I want to know why. Is it true? Is there something happening that I need to know about every day? That's why we're in Gibraltar now. That's made possible by Dalversal and by our insistence that it will work. Am I right, Buddykins? That takes two people, yeah, with the same frame of mind to achieve something, a goal. Now, other people might say, I want a brand new car or something like that. It doesn't matter. It's the same principle. If you put your energy into achieving rather than looking at the past, okay, and I've got to say it, guys, in order to change your life, that's a huge achievement. It's a lot bigger than just buying a new car, I guess. But we've done it. This is the start. On our way of life, we're allowed 3 months out in Europe and 3 months back. 3 months out, 3 months back. That's the way it works. And that's why we're looking at a 50-50 split in our lifestyle. But why not? Has the lack of withdrawals created a problem? No. Why? Because we'd already foreseen the building of Dalversal. We didn't take it for granted that the withdrawals was going to be there all the time. Why not? Because the metaverse is still under construction. That's why not. Can you not understand now why it wasn't such a shock that the withdrawals were delayed? Can you understand now why when Jonah came on and said why that I smiled? That's because I know. That's because I plug in every day and look at what is happening rather than what people are saying on the groups. If there'd have been any idea that this was not going to work, I would not be in Gibraltar now. I'll tell you straight. Because I would straight away say, I'm sorry, Sarah, we can't afford it yet. It's not at the right time. That's dedication, guys. That's dedication, and that's trust in the platform, okay? I'm not here to tell you guys how to do it. I'm just here to tell you it can be done, okay? Okay, Patricia, do you want to take over a minute while I just have a quick drink? Hopefully that's put the message across a little bit on how this platform can deliver.
Yeah. Well, I think what I'd like to say is what Trucker Fletcher was saying about many of us, our first experience of coming into this arena of crypto, of the decentralized universe was hyper. For me, it was my first experience. And so I can remember the shock of thinking, God, I'm earning 50, it was 50, whatever their token was, I can't remember, 50 a day, wow. What will I do with that? Getting really used to the idea that would happen. And of course, it was completely unsustainable.
Yeah.
And so we've come from that to this, which is a very different platform with a very different vision, a very different kind of corporate.
In reality, we weren't involved with the foundations of the platform with Hyper. We are with Dalversal.
And they reiterated that again. This in the Italian interview I saw. He said, our team are going to put some suggestions forward, and then we're going to put it to the community to vote on.
Yeah.
Well, that never happened in Hyper. You were told.
And I did hear them say that, let's face it, this is what a true DAO is, decentralized autonomous organization. That's right.
Exactly why the name comes from. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Is that it's voted in by the community. All right. And so it's not a top-down structure, it's a bottom-up structure. And so we have to get used to the idea that we are responsible to
Yes.
Like you were saying, actually, earlier, you know, we're not just waiting passively for this miracle to happen. We're here to create the value
Yeah.
by our trust and faith and our ability to kind of believe in it in a way that is not just wishful thinking, but is actually looking at the bigger picture. And that's what I'm seeing anyway.
Look at what I did, right, when the hypergroup collapsed. Yeah.
Mm.
Everybody was up in arms, screaming from the rooftops that everything was collapsing. I was sat on the fence looking and thinking, what can I do about this? You've got so many million people out there just pulling the hair out, not knowing which direction to take. And there's General Kev sat on the fence thinking, what the hell do we do about this? I started this journey in Discord server. And I went on the Hypernation server and looked and thought, oh my God, we've got a problem here.
Mm.
The majority of those, I think at the time, there was 26,000 members in that server, all going hell for leather at each other because everything was collapsed. Yeah. Did that put me off? No. I was the black sheep. I was the one that stood up and said, what the hell do you lot think you're doing? You? What are you doing? And I'll tell you now, guys, I had death threats. Did it bother me? And did it stop me? Not one bit. Not one bit. That will not produce a result. I took it upon my own back to say, right, this server, if nothing else, is going to get cleaned up. Because if it doesn't get cleaned up, we don't get the information we need, should there be a solution at the end of it. And do you know what, guys? That took 18 months to get to roughly where we are now. 18 months of solid craziness trying to keep people calm and directing them to the information that we needed in order to get here now. I saw a guy on Telegram today, and my heart goes out to him. It really does. Okay, and I'll tell you why. So frustrated because Dalversal have closed that door on the hyper community. Yeah, the what's that token?
HPT.
HPT, sorry, yeah, my head's full of it. Yeah, HPT, gone now, yeah? So frustrated because that's all he's got. And initially, I did wrong. I posted, come on, guys, this has been open for 7-8 months now. And he's only just found out by his leader, okay? And then I sat down and kicked my own ass. I kicked my own ass because it's not his fault. It's not his fault. But this is what I'm saying, guys. Everybody has the ability to keep plugged in, no matter how frustrating it is. Yeah. Unfortunately, that guy might not be able to do anything with HPT. That's done and dusted. But I do believe he said he had 4,000 DC or something that we may be able to help him with. Okay. And I reassured him. I said, don't look at it like that, guys. What can we do for you? Okay. This is what Dalversal have done. They've looked at everything. And even those guys that are behind that shut door and there's nothing that can do, that's not the case. There's always something that can be done. Okay. Sorry for taking the mic back again, Patricia. I just wanted to, voice my opinion on that because it's been 18 months of sheer hell trying to get members the correct information to get to where we are now. And my heart bleeds for a lot of members out there globally. It really does.
Yeah, but when you think about it, Kev, we're in the crypto world, which is our own risk. If you put money in and you lose it or something goes wrong, that was nobody made you do it. You did that off your own back. Sad as it sounds, as cruel as it is, nobody forced you to it. And at the end of the day, if you've lost money, it's crap. But at the end of the day, you've got a chance to move on to joining into this. But there's no guarantee in crypto. And that's the big thing that's made clear to everybody when they step into the crypto world. It's on your back. You can't blame anybody else. And if it crashes, it's bad news. But get on and live with it because there's so many. It wasn't just hyper that. Look, when you look at the amount of crypto that's crashed out. There's an atmosphere of it. There's a universe of it that's crashed out. So it isn't just that. But if you're going to go into crypto, you need testicles of titanium, because if you don't, you're not going to get nowhere.
I do love the fact that Dalversal is turning Dow, though, because who can blame anybody then? It's up to us how we operate the system then. Patricia, I'm going to bring you back in, love, because I do believe that you have to get off soon. Do you want to? Yeah?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say, a lot of this is, it's how the leaders communicate. And a lot of people were missold, in my opinion, in Hyper, and they did put in money that they couldn't afford to lose. They were encouraged to do that by people who perhaps didn't advise them well.
Monkey say, monkey do. Yeah.
Exactly. And what we're trying to do now is give people the relevant information so they can make their own decisions. We this week, Adam and I have been helping people still coming over from Hyper. It's still happening, and they're really at the beginning of their Dalversal journey. And just getting them to transfer the DC over, and then showing them how to, I'm going to say click and collect, but you know what I mean. Charge each day, and just saying, you just keep going, and keep plugged in. You need to understand what you're doing. You need to be abreast of the news, because it's a DAO. It's going to keep evolving. It's not going to stay the same. So that's what we're now trying to do for people is give them, like you said, the empowerment, but rather than dictating what happens and letting people get into hot water because they overextend themselves. This is, at least we know with Dalversal, this is money that you already have lost effectively, and now you've got the chance to get some back. So,
I threw the gauntlet down about 6 months ago, and I did a video somewhere, and I did a big shout out. I want to know another platform that's rescued another platform like this app. Dalversal rescued all these members. Yeah, I want to know another similarity. I've not seen it yet.
Not on this scale. There've been a few little ideas floating around.
Well, I'm sure I can speak for the community members and Dalversal, Patricia, to thank you greatly, you and Adam and everybody out there that's doing the business in helping, members that, if you remember back months ago when they said that the pioneers of this ecosystem would be those that went out into the galaxy and rescued all these lost space. Yeah, you remember? And that's exactly what we're doing now. We're rescuing people who thought they were literally lost with everything gone. Yeah. If we can put hope into one person, then we've achieved something. And all I can say is, and I'm loving the amount of viewers we've got on here this evening. It's great to see. And if anybody in the viewing list of viewers tonight can do similar to what we've done here, I'll tip me hat off to you. Because this is what Dalversal is about. This is what we are as a global nation, where we get together. We've got people from all around the world that just work together, helping humanity. That's what it is. We don't know each other. We don't know people from around the world, but we've got that same drive. We've got that same goal. And that goal is to achieve and get a result from what we've all been burnt from. I know somebody, what's her name? Miss Transformer, yeah? She's a classic because she says how everybody's hurting and that. We've all been hurting, we've all been scolded, and we're like, a rising phoenix from the ashes. Absolutely, that is a good way to describe how we feel at the moment with Dalversal. Okay. Let me just see if there's any quick things that I wanted to go over before we have a little chat about what we're doing out here. We said about how many had sold. TFA program still going strong. Doesn't seem to be any issues whatsoever regarding the charging and so forth. And like Trucker Fletcher said, his daily rewards are actually purchasing Dow tea at the moment. So great result on that one as well. That was that. I've done that. Yeah, I've covered everything for. Oh, Sarah, have you shared the form to join the Dow tea pre-sale allocation for those members that click no without realizing they wouldn't get another chance to join? Now, some members, as soon as they logged into their account, they had that pop up about the pre-sale allocation time, and they click no, saying, "Oh, I'll read that later," then only to realize that that was it. That was the answer, and it was like, "Oh no, I didn't read it." So there's a form there. Sarah's just posted it in the chat box. If you want to join or don't want to join, the ability is there to read through it again. Read it thoroughly. Make sure you know what you're saying yes or no to. It's not our job to say whether you do or not. The form is there to have a look through. So, okay. Now we're going to have a quick chat. What we at? Yeah, we're okay for 10 minutes. A quick chat about our trip to Gibraltar and how relevant this is to the crypto space and the metaverse and what's going on. Now, I will say, guys, that we've got our own private Telegram group, private YouTube channel. We took 40 minutes out our day today to do a great private daily diary, only to find out it recorded a black screen and no audio. Yeah, you can imagine the words that came out of my mouth. Yeah, so we'll have to do that tomorrow. So those members that are privy to the private channel, you will get that tomorrow. But what I want to mention today is the significance of what we learn through our trip to Gibraltar. And it is significant. It is related to spiritually, it's related to the metaverse and moving forward. Okay, we went for an adventure yesterday, and most of you guys know that Sarah and myself have got some quite chronic health conditions of the neurological kind. I have a condition called PPPD, which is a vestibular balance problem, if you like, brought about by chronic migraines for years, absolutely years. And that is supposed to be a lifelong condition, okay? I am on medication for it. The only medication that works is epilepsy medication, which I don't like taking. But I have to tell you this for the significance of what I'm going to go to. Sarah, on the other hand, it was only 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks ago, she had a stroke. Okay, she's still got, as far as we know, she's still got 2 blood clots on the brain. Now, many people would say we're crazy flying for a start. We got the all clear from the neurologist that Sarah was safe to fly on a short haul flight. Okay, so we decided to do it because we realized that coming out here, we could relax. The weather was nicer, and we felt that the health benefits would be better for us to do it rather than not do it. Okay, so we balanced the pros and cons, and we said, let's do it. Yeah, we've learned a lot since coming out here. Okay, we went on this adventure yesterday. We decided to go, listen to this, to the top of the bloody rock. Okay, it's roughly 3,100 feet above sea level. Okay, we went up the cable car in order to save Sarah's legs, my legs. You know, we're not getting any younger, but we decided to go for this expedition to see what we could do up there. We went up the cable car. So you can imagine the change in elevation for a start, altitude. We got to the top of the rock and Sarah had a little bit of a bad turn, okay? Because of the change in altitude and everything, it did affect her. We sat down for a few minutes and she soon sort of come round, okay? We decided to carry on because there's quite a lot of attractions and exhibitions up the rock that we paid for. You paid for that in with the ticket for the cable car. Okay, it's like a nature reserve together with St. Michael's Cave, the Skywalk, which is a glass platform that reaches out over into the Mediterranean and what have you. And then you've got the tunnels where you have like a museum inside the rock, and you can go and learn about all the history of the rock. Well, we decided to go on the glass platform. Now, guys, for somebody that suffers with vestibular migraines, right, which affect your, what do they call it, your vestibular system, it gives you terrible vertigo, okay? The magical healing properties of this rock is unbelievable. I stepped onto that glass floor and I went right out into the corner with no fear whatsoever. How does that work? How does that work? That's crazy. Nature, something natural. Get rid of the pharmaceutical drugs and just do something that you know deep within your heart, because Gibraltar has a very deep-seated place within me, yeah, and do something unusual. Gobsmacking, guys. I have done the videos. If anybody wants to join this group, put a yes in the group, in the chat, and we'll join you to the group, okay? Sarah did it as well. It was a very grueling time because walking across the top of the rock, there is some steep hills, and Sarah did find it quite a challenge, clearly. Maybe we shouldn't have done it. Maybe we should have been a lot more careful, okay? But we decided we would do it for the benefits of nature, to get into nature and learn about what nature can do, the natural healing properties. When we got to St. Michael's Cave, we only had 15 minutes because it had taken us that long. We took our time walking along. We went into St. Michael's Cave, and it's called The Awakening, funnily enough. That cave is breathtaking, guys. Absolutely breathtaking. I took the video at 4K as well. Beautiful video. And they've got sound and film, like lighting in there that really transforms inside that cave. I don't know whether any of you guys in here have ever been in St. Michael's Cave, but it is phenomenal. It really is. I'm getting to the point of what I'm, the significant point, so bear with me, yeah? By the time we came out of St. Michael's Cave, I've got to be honest, guys, we were completely exhausted. In fact, this morning, we're walking like penguins. Our legs are so shattered and solid because we're just not used to them big hills and whatever. But we walked down the rock into Gibraltar when we'd finished. Halfway down the rock, we were that exhausted, and I must say, probably dehydrated as well, that I had something overcome me, a realization, if you like. When you're walking down the rock, every step, when you're that tired of life, and when you've excelled so much, every step that we took, you have to think before you take that step, because you don't want to fall. Your legs are tired. Your back's had enough, yeah? But we were determined to finish yesterday on a positive note, and we were both knackered. I've got to be honest, yeah? But not once did we give in. The challenge was there. And do you know what? That woman there, she is a pioneer among pioneers. Yeah. After what Sarah has been through in the last 6 weeks, yeah, to be able to do what she did yesterday, proud is not the word, yeah? But the significance was taking every step of the way, talking to each other, explaining and helping each other down that rock, because we're physically and mentally knackered. Yeah. Think about every step. That's exactly what we've done within this ecosystem. Exactly what we've done. Yeah. It's symbolic. Never give in, guys. Never give in. Because at the end of it, you've got something up here that nobody else can do. I said to Sarah at the end of yesterday, she was knackered, bless her. I said to her, I says, are you proud of what you've done? Because I am. And she said, yeah. Because nobody else would have even thought about doing that, especially 6 weeks after having a bloody stroke. Yeah. Nature will look after you if you look after nature, if you appreciate and respect nature. And that's exactly what we did. We went up there, we appreciated and respected everything that it offered us. The macaques, the monkeys, beautiful creatures. But you've got to learn about them. Don't stand between baby and mama when they're there. We're in their world. They're not in our world. We're in their world when we're up in their world. And respecting the difference of what it's like down in the town, that's when it looks after you. And that's why we survived to see another day. What I realized after yesterday was the strength, wrong way, where are we? That way. The strength and ability of this woman that I married is unbelievable. It really is. And I just want to share that with the group. We had a post in Dalversal a week or two ago about the resilience of women within the crypto space. And I do understand Patricia and Winnie had a bit of a podcast about this, didn't you, Patricia? About women in the crypto space?
We did. It was a much needed discussion because it's
absolutely
not the usual face of crypto.
And that's the beauty of what we can do with our shows, including the Wary Cryptonaut. Her podcasts are very similar as well. We look at the alternative. We look at the symbolic lifestyles of people and how we can, include that within the metaverse and the crypto space. If Sarah can achieve that, is there any wonder she's where she is in the crypto world?
Yeah, marvelous. Great to hear.
Absolutely marvelous. And you know what? I have no fear whatsoever that Sarah's going to be absolutely fine. I really do.
Glad to hear that. I'm going to head off shortly.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll be bringing the show to an end very shortly, unless Chris has anything else to bring to us. Go ahead, Patricia.
No, well, I just wanted to say the whole health thing is partly what I'm, trying to unite the two things. It's not just like we exist in this space and we don't have bodies and we don't have problems and we don't have experiences. We need to understand that everything that happens to us has a consequence and know how to look after ourselves, so that's really why I'm here. And I know a lot about health. I've had to learn a lot about health to get well myself, so
exactly.
So you can't just take everything that you're told. It's just the same in the health space as it is in the financial space. There's vested interests in keeping you sick, so you have to take charge and learn what you can do to help yourself, and you obviously are doing that. And one of the big things that you're getting right now is vitamin D, by the way, which is a really important pro-hormone. It's not even a vitamin, it's a pro-hormone, and it changes your immunity and it will improve your health massively. And just the two of you going into the sun will be doing that, and that's why you're blooming, as it were.
We are, absolutely. We've been out here 9 or 10 days, and you're absolutely right. I caught the sun yesterday a bit on my head, because it was 28 degrees and more as we was going up the rock, and we was exposed to it quite a lot, you know, a little bit too much if anything. But yes, you're absolutely right. Every opportunity we get, we're in the sun. Even if we're staying at the apartment, we're on the patio and we're absorbing that vitamin D, something we don't get in the UK, not a lot of anyway. So Patricia, it's been an absolute pleasure. We've had a wonderful show again. Chris, did you want to bring anything to the table at the end of it?
No, only that I said earlier that me and Ellie's going to get away in the van April time. We've got a lot of friends asking about what we're doing in this Dalversal, and it's going to give us a chance to get away, catch up with them, and basically show them what's happening. And hopefully we've got a couple of friends. We might be able to stop at one house on the night and show them what happens on the Friday night, and then be somewhere else on the Sunday and show them on the Sunday. So, yeah, we're going to get. It's not just like you. It's not going to be a holiday as such. There's things we want to see.
Way of life.
But there's also the word we want to spread. So we're going to kill two birds with one stone and enjoy it.
Excellent, excellent. I've just got to share this with you guys because I talked about Concha, our landlady from this place that we rent. Now, the reason I contacted her, I'll let you know briefly because I know Patricia needs to get off. Outside at 11:30, 2 nights ago, we heard a lot of activity. Loads of people singing and, you know, noise like music going on. We thought, what's going on here then? Went out onto the veranda, looked over, there's about 60 people in the street outside our apartment. What's going on here? And we looked and there's like a huge dinner table. That's all I can describe it as. It's like a huge dinner table with about 30 people underneath it. And I thought, what the hell's going on here? And then all of a sudden, this fella, and some of the members had like a turban with a back flap, you know, like the Arabs wear, but it was 11:30 at night, so it wasn't to protect them from the sun. It was just a headdress, yeah. So I'm like, I don't get this. What's going on? Then this guy shouts something. It's almost military style, and I thought, strange. All of a sudden, they go whoop, and they stand up with this table in the air. And then they start rocking like this, and then they start marching forward. And I'm like, what the hell's going on here? It looks like a funeral procession or something, yeah? Anyway, thought note to it. We videoed it, posted it up to, you know, our private Telegram group for everyone to see. No idea what it was about. Last night, exactly the same thing happened again, but it was a different style of huge dinner table, what I can describe as a dinner table, and it was all crafted at the top. There was like, you know, decorations on the top, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? That's 2 nights in a row, and again there was about 60 people, 30 of which is underneath the table that did exactly the same thing. They bang on the box and whoop, and up they go with the table and they start walking up the street like this. And they wander through the streets of Spain at 11:30 at night. So I thought, I don't get it. So I messaged the landlady of this apartment. And I says, look, you might find this rather strange, but can you just give us an insight of what are these guys doing outside at 11:30? You'll never guess what. They're practicing for Easter. It's an Easter celebration. Now, listen to this. This is what made me laugh. She messaged me back and she says they're rehearsing for Easter. I presume Concha is Spanish. I'm not 100% sure because I've never actually spoken to her. Okay. And she says, I imagine you know that in Andalusia, they parade virgins and saints through the streets in a kind of carriage. And I'm like, what the hell? I had no idea. But if you search it on Google, up it comes. And it comes up with these people that are dressed in a cloak, a white hat, and they actually carry one of these things with virgins and saints through the streets at Easter. And I'm like, how ignorant of me of not knowing this. Well, obviously I wouldn't, but this is what we want to do in our lives. Go to different countries and learn about the traditions of what they believe in. Whether we think it's right or wrong, it doesn't matter. I think it's wonderful. The Spanish are outstanding at how they celebrate life in general, whether we believe it or not, it doesn't matter. I love what they do. I really do. They didn't give a damn it was 11:30 at night. In fact, the ice cream shop, here's the last one. The ice cream shop in Spain closes at midnight, guys. And on that note, adios. Exactly. Right, guys, I'm going to bring the show to an end. It's been absolutely great. Patricia, bless you for staying on for so long. I thought you'd have to go. Any last words before you go?
Well, I know I'm standing in for Winnie in a way, so I just want to welcome and say hello, and we wish her well. And I just thought it'd be better for me not to just disappear. So here we are. But I have witnessed what you just described in Spain. I've watched that, and it's an amazing thing.
It is. It's a sight to behold.
It really is. Yeah, they do Easter really well. But yeah, thank you for having me on, and I'll see you next time.
You take care, Patricia, and thank you. Chris, Trucker Fletch, and Fred. Any last words before we close up for the night?
Yeah, we all need good vibes and keep our chins up. Sun's going to come up here in the UK soon. We're moving forward. No point keep looking at the past and what ain't happening now. It's what looking forward to tomorrow, next week, and next year, and the next 10 years. So I hope I haven't upset anybody tonight, or I am. I take it as I see it, and I'm a bit brutal at times, but sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind, and people understand when, if you sat around dithering around saying, oh, this, that, and the other, and you get out there and say it, you upset a few, but the rest of them cotton on to what you're on about. I'm not a cruel man underneath, really. Ask him. That is a big
the beauty of Metaverse Masterminds is you'll get the truth, guys. All right. You take care. It's been a wonderful show. Episode 25 next week, still coming from the rock. You take care. With great love from Barefoot and Buddykins, Patricia, and Trucker Fletch and Fred. Good night, everyone. See you soon.
Bye-bye. Bye.